This grilling season, don't just fire up the barbecue. Elevate it with meats from around the globe, delivered straight to your door by the Butcher Shoppe Direct. They're not your average butcher. Butcher Shoppe Direct sources premium cuts from over 5 continents: Argentina, Japan, New Zealand, Spain, the US, and right here in Canada. Whether it's a tomahawk steak from Australia or melt in your mouth Wagyu from Japan, they bring the world's best to your backyard. And here's the game changer. Every order is cut fresh on the day of delivery. No sitting in a freezer, no guesswork, just top quality meat, expertly prepared and grilled ready. Planning a cookout? Check out their handcrafted burger patties and small batch sausages, perfect for taking your barbecue from good to unforgettable. And right now, you can save 15% off of your first order. Just visit butchershopdirect.com and use promo code EatingWild15 at checkout. Plus, get free delivery on all orders over $250. That's EatingWild15 to save, and free delivery when you stock up. Butcher Shoppe Direct. Premium, fresh, delivered. They're going to go to this island.
Yeah.
They're going to live there for 2 days.
Yeah.
And they're going to eat what they catch. And they're going to build a fire and drink coconuts.
How about I make a deal with you? If I come to Canada, you take me muskie fishing. You come to Australia, I'll take you fishing on the Great Barrier Reef.
Are you nuts? Get the paperwork started.
If I could shake it. You just got to take a chill pill, man. They pretty much hook themselves, and he's like, whack, and like this.
Yeah.
Guess how many Canadians we have on our books?
We got to sign up before this airs there, Tony.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Eating Wild Podcast. Smash Malek alongside in studio Showtime Christopher Showtime Jansen. Siege, welcome to the studio down the QEW.
The old QEW. It's good. This is my home away from home.
This is it, man. Every time you come here, it feels like, doesn't feel like we're doing a pod. It just feels like we're hanging out. So it's great.
It's like a cottage. We just need water instead of apartment buildings and everything behind us.
Yeah.
If it was the lake, one day though.
One day.
One
Can you
day.
imagine doing a pod by the lake? Birds or loons are piping off.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, eh?
Yeah.
Speaking of loons, man, we got on the water, brother.
We did, man. That was what I get so confused, Tom, because it's like bass opener was, and the Kawarthas was like last Saturday, and then this Saturday was like Lake Erie, but we hit last Saturday in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. We went out to the Kawartha Lakes area. Listen, man, it's crazy because I feel like the season is so crazy because of the weather. We talked about this already.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but what we did expect, Siege, was to get pulled over by the MNR.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
There hasn't been 1 year when the MNR isn't out in the Kawarthas on bass opener, and lo and behold, we got pulled.
What was the first thing you said to him?
I can't remember. Tell me.
Said, we were expecting you.
Like, that's right. What took so long?
Yeah. You treated it like it was a fishing buddy that you gave directions to, and we're just waiting on because you knew they would be coming. Well, and it's good.
It's good. No, listen. When the guy who always pulls us over, winter or summer, his name was Matt.
Right.
And we gotten to know Matt because he pulls us over every year in the winter and in the spring and summer and everything else. And he told us, he's like, you probably won't see me this summer on bass opener because I'm having a kid.
Yeah.
And that's when he told us that there's only 200 officers in all of Ontario.
Yeah, but they're always on that lake.
They're always on that lake. Well, there's a reason, though.
Yeah, it's closer to Toronto, and they have their boat at the marina. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have their boat at the marina, and they also have access to other lakes through that channel.
And the crazy thing is, right away, I listen to my listeners, don't do what I do. I always maybe do what I do. I take a picture of my fishing license all the time, but we take so many pictures on our phone and I never favorite it.
Yeah.
So I'm always scrolling forever and to find it. Well, this time I actually had my card with me because I know
you set it.
And then
set it in the garage.
I go to hand it to him. He's like, I don't need it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, oh, this is
Father's Day
weekend. You don't need your thing. And I was so happy to have it. He didn't even look at it. I'm like, man.
Well, here's the bone job, man. Like you're what are you? Okay, I know why they're out there.
Yeah.
But if it's free fishing,
yeah,
for everybody involved, you can cast all you want. They asked us for our fishing license. They still asked us.
Yeah, they still did, which was weird.
Weird. And then I found it on my phone. It took me a bit, but I found it. But I think they were more or less looking for safety gear, live well check,
live well,
no
make sure.
booze.
Yeah, we don't have 30 largies in your live well. I don't know who would do that anyways. But yeah, we had everything except for one thing. And I have to buy it for my boat now.
Yep.
What was it?
The fire extinguisher,
which
we got pulled over by Matt last year, and he told me, and I ordered it on Amazon.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And we went back. I just didn't put it on the boat. I went back with you over to the cottage, picked it up, put it on the boat, and he didn't come back to check, but he was like, listen, he's like, you live right there. Actually, he was a bit of a goof. Remember what he said to you? He's like, I'm getting sick and tired of holding your boat. Go get your fire extinguisher. Let me relax, bud.
I get it. It was opening day. There was tons of boats to check, but it is your job, pal. You signed up for it. And another good tip for our listeners is to get the fire extinguishers. Tone had it, so we put it on the boat. But when you put them in your like little storage compartments and stuff, kind of mount it to the side because I've seen so many in my days, people just put it on the bottom of the compartment and it rusts out and all that stuff.
And does it move around?
It moves around and then it gets moisture in, they rust out, and they're not cheap, right? So they're not cheap. So put a little mount. I know no one wants to put screws in their boat if they don't have to, but you're doing it to a side compartment, so it's not really going on the outside of your boat, so you're not going to get any leaks. But yeah, we had everything else. We kept some panfish. We had some beautiful panfish tacos. This guy here does his panfish tacos.
Tell him, Sweet.
The key lime, lemon, and pepper. So we did a little bit of not a competition, but our good friend of our podcast, fellow co-host, made this one, Lose a Jerk. And I said Lose a Jerk was gonna be better, and this is Tone saying he said it was gonna be better. So we did it all different ways, and you eventually did a little bit of both on it.
What? You can mix them up, man.
Holy,
you can go. You
toss
can go,
salad.
Yeah, you can go. KLLP.
Yeah.
And add a little bit of jerk to it. Why not? I mean, listen. At the end of the day, there's no wrong way of using a seasoning. Like you can just mix and that's the best. Sometimes you get the best recipes. The hardest part is not writing it down.
Yeah,
because it's like, oh my God, that was good. How did I do that?
And you gave me a good analogy. You're like, are you just going to use salt? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? You're like, there's pepper. So you use both salt and pepper. That makes sense, right?
Of course.
So you want to throw that in there. But the spices are doing good. A little plug, Gagnon Sports, go online. Yep. They're online right now, and he's got a good deal on them. So go online, put some fishing tackle in there, put lures, rods, everything. They ship everywhere, and you can get the spices on Gagnon Sports. And at Angling Sports, also a lot of sports, eh? These guys are all about the sports.
Yeah.
Angling Sports in London carries them too.
Yeah. How are the boys doing, by the way?
They're doing really good. I was there last weekend, and they had all the part-timers working because the boys are popping.
They're popping. Yeah, I don't blame them. You know what, Cole, the last time I saw Cole was in the spring. He was hurting, obviously. He hurt himself, but we were talking. Actually, they gave me a sick deal on my reel.
Yes.
Which was, you didn't have to do that, but if he's listening, I appreciate it. I got to get it. It's on Cody's boat.
Yeah.
But other than that, those boys are, what a lovely bunch of dudes, those Angling Sports guys.
Angling Sports, Gagnon Sports, Pro J Tackle, like all of these guys that all these, you just feel like you have a connection with these people. We could be talking about big box stores. Yeah, they're great, but these local ones, man, those that are all anglers.
I had so much fun at Jasper's, man. When we were there at Pro J, and we were doing the burgers and the hot dogs, and the people were going in there, Siege, and spending dough like it was like nothing. And then you love seeing that. You know what I mean? But listen, man, we got a packed show today because we do have a guest we're going to get to.
Two guests.
Yeah. And one is actually a friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Who we get, Mike Sutton. We get to see him every year at the Muskie Brawl.
Yeah, and we see him at the fishing shows as well. He's always rocking
E-Dub, Mikey
yeah.
Sutton. And can't wait to hear his story. And the guest, man, Mark. What a friggin' guest we got.
Mark Berg. Australian, Aussie.
He's an Oz.
Have we ever had, he's going to be joining the show, and I think at his time, our time is going to be 6 o'clock.
PM.
And his time, I believe it's like 8 a.m. or something like that.
So we have a bit of time before he jumps in. But
poor guy is waking up to us.
I love it, man. I love watching my reels of these maniac guys in Australia that are like, I'm not even going to attempt the accent, but they're basically saying they're going to go to this island.
Yeah.
They're going to live there for 2 days.
Yeah.
And they're going to eat what they catch. And they're going to build a fire and drink coconuts.
Yeah, his content is really good. It's a lot of long form content, which I appreciate nowadays. Like some of the episodes I saw, they were like 45 minutes or whatever. And we're going to talk with Mike Sutton. So Mike Sutton was fortunate to win a trip of a lifetime with Bergie's fishing addiction.
Right.
So that's what his channel is. He gives his listeners or viewers a shot to win. They have to subscribe, and then he picks lucky winners, and then they get to go on these crazy adventures. They always have challenges.
Yeah.
They have to catch so much, and they can win like rod and reels, and they're in planes and everything. So this is really going to be really interesting because have you been to Australia?
No, I've never been. Saltwater, yes, but here's the difference, and I want to ask him these questions because they're like, because Chef Craig, who obviously everyone knows, a friend of the show, he works for me here at Gourmet Craft and Catering. He lived in New Zealand for like 8 years.
Right.
If anyone listening to the show remembers, talking about his time on Lord of the Rings, and New Zealand and Australia, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But their target species out there are very different from what you'll find in the Caribbean and in like, Florida and the Atlantic and the Gulf, because let's face it, yellowtail snapper, red snapper, mahi, you go big game, you want to go sailfish, swordfish, shark, obviously, tarpon. It's a huge sport fish out, closer in North America. But what Craig was saying, what he used to do, and he told me the story, Christmas Day was his favorite day. Obviously, I think the seasons are reversed over there. I could be wrong about that. But he said Christmas Day, he was out on the water with one of the friends that he met working on the film set. And he had a boat, and he took him fishing. And they were fishing for barramundi. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have. I've heard of it.
And I think it's their yellowtail snapper. I could be wrong. But he's like, I'm telling you, we were jigging them. The boat was anchored in crystal blue water.
Oh, cool.
And they were jigging these fish. They fought like hell. And he goes, and we cooked them. And he was like, it was the best fish he's ever eaten in his life. So I remember him talking about it. And he was like, see if we could ever get barramundi. And there was only one time that all seas, I remember I was talking to Darlene. Shout out Darlene. She listens to the show all the time. And she's like, yeah, I can get barramundi. And I've never ordered it, but I'm dying to know what kind of fish is barramundi. Yeah. Is that the say yellowtail snapper of the Aussie waters? Because I always hear that word. You know what I mean? I always hear that fish. And then what other species? I mean, it is the ocean sea.
It is, and we think we have a lot of fish in Ontario, different species. Like the amount of species, I am oblivious to it all. You know a lot more on saltwater than I am. I'm a freshwater North American kind of guy, but I'm really interested in picking his brain, and he knows his way around a kitchen too. Yeah,
he does.
He does shore lunches and all that stuff. So I can't wait to pick his, and maybe we'll win a trip with him one day.
That would be a friggin' dream. I'd love to go to Australia.
You'd get a lot of views, man.
Yeah, I would.
Just saying it there, Bergie. Yeah, you get a lot of views.
When you're watching this, you're not even on here yet. You have no idea what's coming at you.
Yeah, he may lose viewers. Who am I kidding?
But I'm excited to have him on. But Siege, it's the time of year. We went out. We went for opener. You also went out for bass opener.
Yes.
You took with the champ.
Yeah, so I went out with Cody Kovanchek the following week, and we had bass opener on Lake Erie.
Right.
I haven't fished Lake Erie for a couple of years, and it's a special place, man. It's like you were talking about. We were very clear water, 6 feet, 4 feet. First thing in the morning, we're getting double headers, 5-pounders, 5.5. I think Cody got like a 6.5.
Holy smokes.
And it was nonstop for 2 hours. I could have went back home after that 2 hours. I felt bad because he drove all the way down. He met me at my parents' house in Fort Erie. We're on the river. But I could have been done in 2 hours. We probably would have boated 40 smallies, all good ones. The cookie cutters were like, it's crazy because the cookie cutter there is like 3.5 pounds.
Holy
right.
Crap.
And if you're in the quarters, I know the quarters to our listeners, we love the quarters, but 3 and 3.5 pound, close to 4 is a big fish.
Yeah.
When you get spoiled on Lake Erie, and like a lot of times we weren't even bringing the fish into the boat, we're just taking pliers off to the side and just letting them go because why get them out of the water, right? We wanted we wanted the 5 or 6s, and he took some really cool drone footage. So stay tuned to that. But yeah, it's a special fishery. It was packed, but it's big water. So you're around a lot of things, and we were fortunate to have it flat lake on opener. You never get flat. We could have went everywhere, Tone.
Right.
And you've been out there with me and my pops before, and it's not flat.
It's not flat, but the water's clear. I remember you were. It was a while ago. Now that I'm thinking about it, but we were sight fishing almost. Like those smallies were right behind the boat, and you were just like, drop down. I was using a wacky worm. I'll never forget it. And just to watch those smallies come in, it was so awesome.
Wolf packs. Like he got one time when I was you'll see the drone footage where I was working a jerkbait. One came in, then 6 or 7 came flying in afterwards. And unfortunately for me, the 5s and 6 were at the back and the 3 was up front, and the 3 grabbed my jerkbait. But that's fishing, man. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, and I think our next fishing trip, I think, is going to be Georgian Bay. Lou's doing really well in Georgian Bay. Big pike, big bass. And it's the season. I just can't deal with last time we were on the podcast, we were talking about how cold everything is. And now what are we at? Like 35?
Yeah, it's brutal.
It is hot.
We were melting on set today, Siege. I just, like, you met me here at the studio. I worked all day today, and it was uncomfortable, man. Imagine being in a kitchen when you're full out blazing. The char broiler is at full pop.
Yeah.
And it's 35 degrees outside. Your air conditioner can't keep up because your hood fan is just sucking that air out. You might as well not even have it on. But
what's that? Where were you on today?
Yeah, so Twisted Metal season 2.
I heard that's a real popular show.
Yeah,
right?
it is. It's Papa Doc.
Okay, from the 8 Mile.
From 8 Mile. Yeah, and I think he was one of the Avengers as well. I could be wrong. I don't really follow too much of the actors and actresses that we feed all the time, but pretty big cast. Flank steak today, buddy. It was a perfect day to do flank steak. I got to tell you something. It's one of my new favorite cheap cuts of. I say cheap. It's not cheap, but it used to be cheap.
Right.
And you can buy them. They come in around 2 to 4 pounders. The flanks, trimmed already from our good friends at the Butcher Shoppe.
Right.
And if you are looking to order flanks from the Butcher Shoppe using the Eating Wild 15 code, I think they come in packs of 2, so you get about average to 8 to 10 pounds of flank, and they come trimmed already. So you're not paying for trimming weight. You know what I mean? Like, you buy a whole strip loin, a whole muscle from Costco, you're paying $180 now. Once you're done trimming that, because it's per pound, right? It's never the same price. They weigh it, they scale it, and then they're paying $27 a pound, whatever it is. So if you get a 10-pound piece, you're paying $270 for that strip.
Right.
But you're throwing away, once you trim it to what's edible, you're throwing away another 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So the good thing about the Butcher Shoppe, again, go on the Butcher Shoppe Direct, order yourself some flank steaks for the summer. You will not be disappointed. Marinating is the key.
Okay.
Siege, I got to tell you something, buddy. I did the smoked piri-piri today.
Okay.
I used oil. I used white wine and the piri-piri rub. That was it.
Oh, it sounds good.
And I vacuum sealed them. So I did the second unit today, so it was only about 100 people. So I usually average about 8 ounces of protein per person. So in retrospect, it's about a pound per 2 people. So if I had 100 people, I needed 50 pounds of flanks. That means I needed about an average of, let's say, 5. You do the math, 25 flanks. So anyways, I vac sealed them all yesterday. This morning, I pulled them out. I seared them on the barbecue, high heat, and I probed them in the rationale after I got my grill marks, charred them up. I probed them to 120, and I got the thickest part of the flank, because a flank steak, it's like a flipper. If you can imagine the flipper you use when you're scuba diving, it's kind of long and flat, but towards the ass end of it, you're going to get about, a good 12 ounces, 12 to 16 ounces, which could be about 2 inches, right? So the whole point of that is when you're probing your flank steak at the thickest part of the steak, and you want to probe that at 120, it's not medium rare. Some would say it's blue still. But you got to remember, when you're resting your meat, it goes up 10 to 15 degrees.
Yes.
Well, that thin part of the flank steak is going to be overcooked if I probe that at 130.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things you got to kind of like, if you're cooking a flank steak or a flat iron steak, just remember, you might probe it at the thickest part. If you want it medium rare, you pull it out at 130, 135 and rest it Well, that thin piece is going to be medium well even. So there is a technique into doing flanks, but I challenge anybody to get a flank steak, cut it on a bias against the grain. I am telling you, Siege, it was melting your mouth. People today were like, I ran out, by the way. I had nothing left.
So what did you, what would you serve it with?
We did scalloped potatoes.
Oh, nice.
We did tortellini in a rosé sauce stuffed with porcini mushrooms.
Oh, man.
It was amazing.
There's leftovers downstairs too, right?
I told you, man. You got my cleaners are going to be popping right now if you don't get to
I
it.
got to beat them.
But then we did local asparagus. It's coming to an end soon, but we get it from Scotland, Ontario, which is out your way.
Yeah, that is. It's funny. Out my way has Paris. We have Scotland. We have London. It's like, what are we trying to do here, man?
Yeah. We got local asparagus from Scotland, Ontario.
Nice, man.
We also had baby carrots, and we did salmon today, actually. I did the banana wrap salmon, and the only reason why I did banana wrap salmon, Siege, is because you get a lot of yield out of it. For 100 people, I can do 4 fillets.
Okay.
Because you're wrapping it in the banana leaves, you're stuffing it, and we serve it whole, and everyone, their eyes light up when they see it. They're like, "Oh my God, what? It's a whole fish," and falls apart like tuna. And you cook it for an hour, wrapped in the leaves, stays moist. And I can't wait to ask Mark about this one too, if he ever cooks and wraps stuff in like banana leaves or. A lot. There's so many different techniques that they use out there for cooking, but this was a Fijian restaurant recipe that Craig gave me years and years ago, and for 4 fillet, because of the price of fish right now is insane. It's the new steak. I think I'm paying $11.50, which is our cost
really
per pound for salmon right now, fresh. $11.50. So if you're buying a 4-pound side, which is a bigger side on the bigger end, you're paying $60. That feeds 5 people. Think of that. It's like we're losing. Anyways, I can get into this. It's expensive.
Yeah, man.
Darlene is always calling me up and saying, listen, this is what I can do for you. She's always hooking me up, giving me the best deals, but it's expensive, Siege.
Yeah, get your fishing license and go get
out
some
there and
Walters and panfish and all that. And if you're friends with an angler, just bug them and just say, stop throwing your fish back, keep some for me.
Yeah.
Because that price, it's
insane.
I know that's a whole different podcast and all that, but that is crazy. That just for a young family or something like that,
And here, I'll give you the whole business analogy on it on my end, on how we make money on that. If I'm charging production, $20 a head, it sounds cheap.
Right.
But if we can keep our food cost at, say, the magic number in the food business is 33%. 33% labor, 33% overhead, 33% profit. Very hard to do 33% right now. It's almost impossible.
That's very similar to the cigars. Everyone wants 35.
35,
yeah.
Right? So if your target is 33, I'm happy with 20.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Right.
So if I got 4 fillets and they're costing me about $55 per side, but I can feed 100 people with it, my average is about $2. So I'm about, let's say, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm already just on one item in my line. Let's say I'm at 2%.
Right.
Okay. That flank steak was $17.99 a pound at 4 pounds, an average of 8 ounces a person. I know there's a lot of numbers flying around, but let's just say one flank feeds 10 people. Okay. An average at 8 ounces, and I'm paying $17.99. So you cut that in half, 18. That's $7.50 per person. You add the $2 for your fish.
Right.
Just in me feeding protein. Forget the pasta, the potatoes, the salads, the condiments, the dessert. I'm already at 50%, Siege.
Then
Brutal.
your cost employees.
Then employees. It's very, very hard right now to make money in the food industry. But with that being said, it's what you're buying. It's there is a formula to make money in the food industry. It's just your consumer needs to be able to afford it, Siege.
Yeah.
And you go to the grocery stores. We talked about this. I mean, we sound like a broken record here, but you go to the grocery store, man, get ready because you're paying $200-300 bones. So
it's not even like gas prices. Gas prices go up and down, right?
Yeah.
At least they go down.
Right.
I'm not seeing it in food.
Well, because the libs probably aren't driving the food. Let's be honest. Because if the libs were driving it, we'd all be going to the shelter tonight, lining up.
We love everyone, man.
Sorry?
We love everyone.
Well, you set me up for that.
Well, I'm just saying with gas prices, they come down at least. Like, what are we, $1.50 right now? $1.45? Then we get close to 2. But then when I'm
there's
buying,
a war going on.
I
There's a
haven't
whole
seen
bunch
it
of
in my
other shit
steaks
going on.
not come down, like, and all that.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. The
Well,
cost of living, everything. It would be hard to be a young family right now.
It is.
You know?
Is. And all jokes aside, without politics getting involved, everybody in North America is talking about how much milk is. Everybody around the world. I have friends that my cousin actually just came back from Mexico. He went to watch the World Cup. My cousin's husband, and he said the same thing. He's like, the resorts are, it's expensive now because it's the food. It's usually the cost when you go to Mexico or Cancun and all these places, Cuba and all that stuff. The food was always pretty cheap.
Yeah.
You can go to a buffet. Now they have all these a la carte restaurants, but I mean, they're buying their meat mostly from the US, right?
Yeah. And I was at a couple of restaurants recently and I saw other people that were there. They were complaining about the menu prices going up. Stop bitching to these people.
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault. They're not trying to, like, especially these independent restaurants and stuff like that. Like, one guy said, I'm not paying the bill and da-da-da-da. But, like, listen, look at your prices, first of all, before you order. And it's not their fault. Like, what are you supposed to do when it fluctuates like that? It keeps going up. But,
well, I got a quick one here. It was my birthday yesterday.
Man. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean,
hey, man. Tornado.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm glad I hit the right button.
Yeah,
I better stop.
I was going to say if that was the crickets, I was going to be pissed. Anyways, I'm not just trying to do a shameless plug about my birthday because I don't give a shit about it. But we went out for dinner. We went to 2 places. I went to a place in Woodbridge called Giro d'Italia.
Sounds nice.
Beautiful restaurant, Italian. The bill for us was probably $500.
4 people?
4 people.
Yeah.
$500. I had 2 drinks, Siege. I had an Aperol Spritz.
That's it?
And an old fashioned.
2?
I was driving.
You generally have that for dessert, man.
Well,
2 drinks.
Okay,
I'm kidding. You're responsible.
I was responsible, but you are right. Usually Tony M is, we're 4 or 5 deep. But anyways, food was amazing. I looked at the prices. I saw what I was getting into. It's my birthday. We're splurging, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? And this is a beautiful restaurant you're talking about. My kids still use McDonald's every now and then. You know what? Like, I mean, 2 combos at McDonald's is like $30, or if not more. There's like $18 for a combo for a burger, fries, and a drink. So I was telling my family, I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, let's cut back on fast food. First of all, it's garbage.
Yeah.
And do that less, and then go out once a month to a nice restaurant. And the money you save, you're getting better food.
Yeah.
You're getting better food. Like this fast food, oh man, it's the convenience that people pay and all that. But I'm babbling. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. But you know what? It's almost time for a guest to join us.
Yeah, and before we go, we have an Instagram giveaway right now.
Yep.
We got an Instagram giveaway. I believe it goes to July 14th. I believe, but check it out on Instagram. I will grab it right here. Keep the guests entertained.
I'll keep you entertained, Siege. Basically, it's our X Zone giveaway. What an unbelievable box this is! We got 2 of them. If everyone saw that clip we put out where the bag goes fired over to your face, we got the X Zone. This thing is loaded, absolutely loaded with stuff, and I'm gonna tell you right now. You gotta get a chance. So this is probably, Siege, one of the biggest prize packs in terms of like actual different types of gear we've ever given away on the show.
Yeah, in the baits, it has a little bit of everything. It has like swim baits, Ned rigs, drop shot stuff, tubes, craws, everything. And then, like Tone said, we have the spices in there.
You're gonna get a hat too, right?
Yeah, some hats and stuff like this. This is a very appropriate time of year for this giveaway. Barbecue season and poppin' season.
Did you use any X-Zone stuff on the water?
Yes, their new rally shad is so versatile, Tone. You just put like a tungsten ball head jig, and you can either twitch it, straight retrieve. It has a lot of action, and I use the rally shad as well on the back of a chatterbait.
Oh, beauty!
And I had a chatterbait. I was ripping one, and Cody's like, "You're fishing for largies? Chatterbaits don't work for smallies." And I'm like, I got to prove this young buck wrong. Burning a chatter, right? Burn, boom, in 9 feet of water. And you know, a lot of times the big bass don't jump because they're so big.
Right.
I'm like, I got a 10, man. I got a 10. Huge drum. Huge, massive drum. And I was so upset.
Burning the chatter.
Burning. The thing smoked it. Smoked the chatterbait. And Cody's laughing and I'm all bummed. I'm pouting like a little kid. He goes, I've never seen someone so disappointed to catch a fish, but I thought it was the one. Eh,
You know what, man?
Why is a drum hitting a burning chatter? But anyways, those baits are awesome.
They're awesome, and you can get that. That's an Instagram giveaway only. And listen, man, I'm pumped. We got a giveaway going. The water's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
You got Lou popping over there. You got the World Cup going. We got parties happening everywhere. It's a good time to be alive, Siege.
And thanks for all of our listeners. We haven't been putting out an episode every week. It's just with all of our schedules lately. So we're trying to average at least 2 a month. And then when we get back to like the kids back in school and all that, we'll do it. But to all our new listeners, thank you so much for listening to our newest episode. But a lot of people are going back in our archives,
right?
So they're quoting old episodes and terminology we use on these old ones, and I forget about them. So yeah, feel free to go back. We got some amazing guests in our back catalog.
Absolutely,
a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, and yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah, get to know us, man. Pull up a chair and listen. I'm sure you'll be entertained. But Siege, on the other end of this break, we're gonna have Mark joining us with Mike Sutton. Can't wait to catch up with him, and I'm excited to pick this guy's brain, man. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, hussy.
We'll be right back after the short one.
See you, man.
Hey, Eating Wild listeners, are you still searching for that perfect boat?
Xtreme Marine London has got you covered with new and used boat sales, service, and professional installation of marine electronics and accessories. Visit their London or Kingsville, Ontario locations today and get ready to make waves and catch that fish of a lifetime.
Xtreme Marine is your one-stop marine shop. Check them out at www.extrememarinelondon.com and follow their journey on Instagram and Facebook. Be sure to tell them that the Eating Wild Boys sent you.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Eating Wild podcast. Siege, we talked about in our opening segment the guest that we have finally joining us from down under, brother.
I think we might have woke him up, but he's a fisherman. He's used to waking up early.
He's up already. Come on, let's be honest. Yeah. And I'm excited. I can't wait to talk to these guys. One guy who's joining us on with our special guest, Mike Sutton, buddy. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. We're going to bring in Mark in a second, but brother, you've been a listener to the podcast for a long time. We're buddies. We see you at the Brawl all the time. I know you were on your way home when we were chatting, but thanks for joining us today, brother. It's nice to see you, man.
It's awesome to be here. I'm so happy I could be part of this and part of the team here a little bit, and bringing my buddy Bergie along is fantastic.
That's awesome.
See, he calls him Bergie, eh? He's already got a nickname.
I don't know if can we call him that yet?
Well, let's ask him. Mark, you there, buddy? Thanks for joining us.
G'day, boys.
What time is it there right now, Mark?
Oh, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning, so it's totally fine.
And where are you?
I'm in a remote northern part of Australia called Port Douglas, which is about an hour north of a place called Cairns, which is very world-renowned for its marlin fishing. But I basically live on the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, my God.
Are you fishing later today?
No, well, unfortunately, this time of the year we have what we call trade winds. We have these southeasterly trade winds, and finding weather windows between those trade winds are few and far between at this time of the year. But, but we travel to other areas of Australia while this is happening here.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, man. Well, we got to kind of introduce Mark to the guests for anyone listening. Obviously, it's an incredible. He has an amazing YouTube channel, Mark Berg's Fishing Addiction, and basically, if you check out this YouTube, I mean, it's fishing, it's outdoors, it's bringing in prize winners to go and fish with them, and that's where Mike comes in on this.
Average Joes like us can fish with him.
Can you imagine that?
Yes, I can imagine it. I think I'm going to win.
Mark, we got to start from the beginning with you, brother. What brought you to, first of all, the love of fishing, the love of the outdoors, and how did this become a career for you?
Wow. I mean, I could literally go on for an hour on that question. There's a few layers there, but look, I fished my whole life. My mother's side of the family, though, we're all originally from Holland, and we came to Australia in the 1950s. Well, not me, but my relatives did. And they were all professional fishermen over in Holland, and then they were professional fishermen here in Australia. And I don't know, it sort of kept going with me. I never really had much to do with them, but I guess it was in the blood. And so I've just fished my whole life. And so where we got to today, sort of, I don't even know where to start. I mean, 20 odd years ago, we did a DVD that went on the front cover of one of the popular magazines here in Australia. And I was a nobody. Like, no one knew me. I wasn't a famous football player or anything like that. I was just this regular dude that loved fishing and could talk underwater. So, I did this DVD. It got really popular. And then my sponsors at the time said to me, you've got to do your own fishing show for television. But I actually didn't really want to do it. I mean, I had a pretty good career and I just didn't think anyone would want to watch me like I'm just a regular Joe. But then we came up with the concept of fishing addiction, whereby we would surprise somebody and take them on fishing adventures. So the show wasn't about me. It was about the average Joe getting to go, if that makes sense. So 17 years later, here we are.
Wow.
How many seasons are you at now?
Coming to season 18, I think now, or 17. I've lost count. So we were on television for this whole time, and we've just made the switch to YouTube.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. So the average Joe has, how can a guy like Mike, well, Mike did win a chance to fish with you, but how can an average Joe enter into the chance to fish with you on this adventure?
Well, but it's very simple. We've actually, just to let you guys know, our main YouTube channel, we've sort of benched it, and we're starting a brand new one right now called Fishing Addiction. And the reason for that is because we do so much different content, it was kind of confusing the audience. So Fishing Addiction is our flagship show. So we're just dedicating a page or a platform just to the show.
Okay.
So the YouTube channel is just Fishing Addiction. We have a thing on there called YouTube Mates, where guys can sign up. I think it's like $5 a month.
Okay.
And that's how it's not a lot of money.
No, it's
fun show. We get enough to get them on board. And we just randomly pick people. And so we started choosing people from overseas and bringing them to Australia about 2 years ago. So we started in America, and then Mike, the crazy bastard, signed up in Canada. And as soon as we saw a Canadian sign up, yes, we're going to get a Canadian on the show. This is awesome. And then next month I'm off to Italy. But we need more Canadians. We want to bring more Canadians to Australia.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we're very similar, too.
Yeah.
Right? I think Canadians and Australians, I think we are.
Oh, of course, man. And Siege, we're talking about Mike here. Mike, what brought you to the page? Like, how did you hear about Mark's fishing show? And were you just like a fan watching and you just entered? Like, how did that happen?
Well, initially I knew about Fishing Addiction and Bergie from his TV show, which would air on WFN, like the World Fishing Network, back 10 years ago probably. And I was like, oh, that is a cool show. That is a cool, way of getting on a show is you win this fishing trip, this epic fishing trip. And, I watched it for years, and then I went to YouTube and I was watching the YouTube episodes and loving them all and, jealous like crazy. And then one day I randomly saw that it said, oh, they're accepting non-Australians, because for the longest time it was only Australians could apply. And then I saw it was non-Australians could apply. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And still did nothing about it. And then one day I had this show on while I was cooking dinner before my family got home, and it was on in the background. And I said to my wife, Amanda, saying, oh, see this show? Like, you can win. Like, Canadians and Americans can win to be on the show. You got to pay a subscription fee. And she said, well, how much is the fee? I'm like, it's like $60 a year, something like that. And she's like, do it. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's like throwing away money. It's like buying lottery tickets. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm not going to win this. So it was actually my wife that convinced me to subscribe.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if this should be public knowledge, but I literally subscribed, and like not even a month later I won. Like, it was
That's a great
insane.
The story
it was
though, like,
instant.
hey, Siege, you were saying the story, Mike. What were you doing? You were playing soccer when you got the
Yeah,
call?
let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the Bergen was talking about the concept is though they don't actually tell the winner; they tell the winner's loved one,
Right?
and then they plan a surprise. So Bergie had conspired with my wife to find a way to surprise me, and it just happened to be at one of my soccer games. And that day, like, Amanda said she's going to come to my game. I'm like, what? Like, you haven't come to my game in like 15 years. Like, why are you coming? Oh, I got a church thing near there, and I got some errands to run, and Braylon, our daughter, will come just because we got stuff to do. I'm like, okay, well, I thought nothing of it, whatever. And then at the end of the game, I say it sort of in the clip that we actually scored a goal like in the last kick of the game that I assisted to win the game. So I'm all like happy and celebrating whatever, and the sidelines yelling at me going, Mike, you got a phone call. I'm like, what? Like, just let it go to voicemail. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just won the soccer game. And they're like, no, you have to take it. And I see Amanda standing there. I'm like, oh yeah, Amanda's here. Must be something important, whatever. So, I leave from shaking hands with the other team, and I walk over to the sideline, and Amanda's like got the phone sort of down, and then she's like, I think you want to see this or take this. And she shows it up, the phone. I just see Bergie's face, and you've seen my reaction. I just lost.
You lost.
Because I recognized him instantly.
Yeah.
And I think Bergie had asked Amanda, like, is he going to recognize me? And she's like, I think so. I'm like, oh, yeah, I recognized him. Like, as soon as I saw his face.
It was priceless. It's a priceless episode.
Yeah, for our listeners, we have a copy of that reaction, and we will be posting it before this episode comes out.
Oh,
a little
man.
bit of teaser.
It was good.
You got to see it.
It was good. Actually,
it.
Mike is the one who sent it to me. He's like, check it. And when I watched it, the smile, and it must be amazing for you, Mark, because Mike's reaction. I mean, you've been doing this so long. Everyone must be. It's like, you're right, Mike. It is like winning the lotto for guys like us. Like, I would lose my mind. And the way that you put it together, Mark, is using your spouse and all that to help out with the surprise. But you must love that part of the job.
Well, look, it is without a doubt. I mean, I'm very blessed in that I've traveled the world. I've caught a lot of fish. My bucket list is getting smaller and smaller. So for me to be able to share the experience with other people and see them catch amazing fish, it's a real buzz. Like, I absolutely love it. But the favorite part for me is the surprise. And often I try and do it in person if I can. We've done a couple in America. I'm going to Italy to do one. I would have loved to have done Mike's as well in person, but I just couldn't get there. So we did it FaceTime. But I got to say, without doubt, out of all the years of doing this, the best reaction I've ever had. Like, this guy was crazy. And I thought to myself, what have I done? Who is this guy?
You had buyer's remorse.
But the difference is, like, Aussies, we're so laid back. And there are guys that, we've surprised them and we'll go, hey, we'll take you, we rock up and I've been conspiring with the wife or the husband or whatever for months ahead and all this sort of stuff. And we surprise them and they're like, yeah, it's good, mate. Yeah, awesome, eh? Like, that is so
I don't understand how they can do it.
Then Mike comes along and starts squealing like a stuck pig. And it was just the best. The best.
Oh, that's amazing. That's such a good story, Siege. Listen, man, I got to ask, if you were to get that FaceTime call, now remember, you don't fish much saltwater, Siege. You've never done it before.
No, I've never done. I've done like the trips in Mexico where they bring you out, and I think they have more Coronas than catch fish, but it's like a scam. I think. I've done that.
They get your dough.
Yeah.
But imagine getting that caught. Imagine that. I mean, you saw Mike's reaction. What would you do, bud? I mean, is the shirt coming off? What's going on?
I would go nuts, and then like that's what I want to get into. Like, after you found out you won, so how long did you have to pack your bags, and like, was the process?
It was a Friday night, my soccer game. When I found out, I left on Wednesday.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like, so, and your wife is all supporting this. Your wife is the one that told you to put the $60 in, so it's not like she can say, hey, well, wait a second, we got something to do on that. No, you're like, I'm packing my bags. You signed me up for this. I won. Ciao. I'm out of here.
And of course, we had all kinds of stuff going on in the house and the family. There was all kinds of issues that I literally ran away from for a week. that she had to deal with because, like I said, she's told me to sign up for this, and then it happened right at not the most opportune time. It was good for me, like my mental health and all that stuff. It was freaking fantastic, but for her, she ended up in a bit of a wasp nest of stuff to do while I was gone.
So you fly out of Toronto. Where do you fly to? Where are you going?
So I went Toronto to Vancouver, which is actually a little funny story because I guess when Bergie was talking to Amanda, he's like, "Oh, I booked my flights from Vancouver to Brisbane. Hope that works for you." And we're like, what, 8,000 kilometers from Vancouver? That's not going to work. So we had to buy another flight. But anyway, so I went Toronto, Vancouver, Brisbane, then spent the night in Brisbane. And then the next morning, Bergie met me and picked me up. Then we flew up to Darwin, spent sort of the day there, had lunch. And that evening, we flew out to the little tiny island off the coast of North Australia. So.
And there was another kid, there was another person that won the trip as well. And I watched it, and he was kind of new to fishing. I think he hasn't used a bait caster before. Is that correct?
Yeah, look, he hadn't, no. But, I mean, he'd been fishing his whole life. But here in Australia, there are so many different types of fishing.
Okay.
And a lot of guys, they just, use your typical egg beater reel, put on a bit of bait, and just soak a bait, and that's how they fish, right? Whereas we never use bait virtually. We're always lures. So it was a steep learning curve for Slug. That's his nickname, Slug. And he was a real character.
He was awesome.
Yeah, it was a real funny guy. And that was the great thing about this trip. We try and match up an Aussie with whoever we bring from overseas. So you've got those two different characters. And you couldn't have got two guys that were more opposite than these two guys. So you got Slug, who's exactly that, struggling at times, has to sit down for a while. And then you've got Energizer Bunny and Mike, who's just 100 miles an hour. Like the guy's, how are you? He's 50 and he's like a 21-year-old jumping around the boat like an excited kid. And it was such a contrast. Sometimes we had to say, Mike, it's all right, man. There's another snag coming up. You can cast at. Relax. Take a breath. He was just 100 miles an hour. And you know what? That's great. He really took advantage of the time that he had there. So we loved that. That was great.
It was a great episode, and just watching Mark your shows, like ever since I heard you were coming on the show, I started watching it, and I'm hooked. Like I'm hooked on it. And there's so many, like he said, there's so many different types of fishing species. I gotta ask you, in all your fishing adventures and all the, from freshwater to saltwater, what would you say is your personal favorite fish to target, and what style of fishing is that?
That's a really hard question to answer because, again, like as you say, in Australia, we have freshwater, we have saltwater, we have different kinds of saltwater. We've got the Northern Territory where it's all a species called barramundi, and, there's a real emphasis on that. And then I live right next to one of the 7 wonders of the world in the Great Barrier Reef. And we're lucky enough now to have a 40-foot fly bridge that's in the marina here. And we take that out to the reef and we tow behind it a 19-foot tender. And so we park the big boat out on the Great Barrier Reef, stay out there for a week, and then just fish on the small boat. So that's probably my favorite thing to do. And the fish that I love to target the most, which is becoming harder and harder, because I'm getting older, is giant trevally.
Trevally.
So, we're throwing big, let me show you the lures that we're throwing at these guys.
I suspect they're topwater baits, Mark.
Big topwater baits.
Topwaters, yeah.
200 to 250 millimeter long. Oh. And, you're using 120-pound braid, 150-pound leader, PE 10 rods. It is battle. You are doing battle with these fish. And, mate, there is nothing more. I got goosebumps. I know I'm pathetic. There is nothing more exciting than seeing a giant trevally come out of the water, open its mouth that big, like a bucket, and just suck in a stick bait. And then you got to do battle with this thing. And it's, without a doubt, you can't eat them. But in terms of the sport, mate,
that's similar to muskie for us. We don't eat the muskie, but they're such a Oh man, they're just up.
I've seen
I don't
lots
know
of
if
it.
you ever
It's
fish.
on the bucket list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's similar. We don't eat them, but there's just sport fishing is amazing.
I tell you what,
Mark,
guys, I'll make a deal. How about I make a deal with you?
Okay.
If I come to Canada, you take me muskie fishing.
Yeah.
You come to Australia, I'll take you fishing on the Great Barrier Reef.
Are you nuts? Get the paperwork started.
If I could shake your hand right now virtually, I could do it.
I'll get my lawyer to draw it up right now, Mark. You'll
But
be
you got to
sent
bring
to
Mike with you as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. That's the only drawback. You got to bring the friggin' insane guy over here.
But I'm not paying for you this time, Mike.
I get it.
Hey boys, have you guys ever been to Gagnon Sports out in Oshawa?
Have I? That place is a gold mine. Picked up my new bow there last weekend. Hunting, fishing, archery, they've got everything.
Boys, don't forget the indoor shooting range. Gagnon's not just a store, it's an experience. They've been doing it right for over 50 years.
Seriously? I thought it was just another outdoor shop.
Just another shop. Buddy, it's family owned, Canadian proud, and huge. We've spent entire afternoons in there.
Or skip the trip and shop online. GagnonSports.com ships across Canada, fast, smooth, and packed with top-notch gear.
All right, I'm sold. Gagnon Sports trip next weekend?
Only if we hit the indoor range first, so I can show you guys how to shoot.
Gagnon Sports, 50 years of adventure and counting.
And don't forget to tell them the Eating Wild Boys sent you.
So on the trip, fellas, what were you guys targeting on the trip you went on, Mike?
Oh, look, well, there's a pretty good variety. Like the main target is like the iconic fish up there, the barramundi, those giant beasts of an amazing, one of the most perfect fish ever created. That was unbelievable. But we also had mangrove jacks, which these Aussies have stupid names for fish because a mangrove jack is a snapper to anyone in Canada, a little snapper.
Right.
You know, a coral trout is a grouper, and a groper is a grouper.
God.
It's so weird.
You idiot.
I love it.
Bloody Canadian.
I love it.
Guys, had mangrove jacks, Saratoga, which is a weird looking, what I called an Aussie arowana, and Berg got mad at me for calling that because
I did.
I'm of South American descent, so arowana are all over the Amazon, right? So I'm used to seeing and catching these arowana. They look the same to me, so. And then the ocean was, oh my God, a whole smorgasbord of actual snapper, golden snapper, the finger marks, the king mackerel, which are friggin' insane. Oh my God, those mackies! What a day that was! That was wow. a day of days. And the coral trout, sharks, friggin' everywhere. You know, caught some and lost fish to lots of them as well.
I saw some of your hook sets, Mike. You were really jumpy on some of your hook sets.
Yeah. The threadfin salmon, those are wild. Those are super cool. No, I don't know if I missed anything else.
Well, you typical Canadian US hook set, like it's a bass.
Yeah,
man, it took it like he was ripping the teeth out of these things. Like it was just insane. Like, dude, you just got to take a chill pill, man. They pretty much hook themselves, and he's like whacking them like this. But then he worked it out, and look, this guy's a very good fisherman. There's no choice. And we get guys that come on that, you know, they're not so good, but that's okay. They have a ball.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's funny, though. I catch a lot of the fish then, and people say, oh, why do you catch all the fish? You got to let your mate, I can't make the fish eat his lure. But with Mike, there was none of that. He was very, very good. He picked it up very quickly, and it was obvious that he was a seasoned angler. So that makes my life a lot easier.
There was definitely a learning curve. Like you said, I was fishing like I was fishing for bass or, you know, fishing in Canada or North America. But between you and our guide there, he really like started pointing me in the right direction and saying, you know, you're doing this, but try this instead. Or, you know, you're doing this a little kind of this way, do a little more this way. And, you know, and by day 3, it was all kind of coming together.
Guys, can I share a secret with you?
Yeah.
All yours.
We like secrets.
You're not going to believe this. So we've only really 18 months, 2 years opened this up to the world, right? And it started with America, and then we just let it go to everybody. So in terms of what we call YouTube Mates, where people sign up $5 a month and they can get chosen, guess how many Canadians we have on our books in terms of YouTube Mates?
I'm going to say 50, just because I like the number.
You have 33.
2.
Whoa.
2.
That's going to
Mike
change.
and one other random dude.
That's changing after
50
this
50
episode.
chance, baby. Woo!
After this episode, Siege, we're going to do
you
a
know
poll.
what? I'm telling you now, I am guaranteeing you that in the next 12 months, we'll be surprising more Canadians. So,
Oh,
man,
you
get on
heard
it.
it
The
here.
odds are in your favor right now.
We got to sign up before this. Your laptop. So we got to sign up before this airs there, Tone.
Yeah.
So
I
that
was
way
going to
our
say, the
go-
odds are going to go down after this podcast.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, I hope so. It'd be great.
Well, Mark, you can tell the TV background you have when it's carrying over to YouTube. The quality of the filming and everything like that. How many people do you have in your crew? Like when you're doing these episodes?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's very interesting these days. I've got kids come up to me now and say, "Oh, you're Bergie, the YouTuber," which
Right.
is kind of weird because I was
Weird
always
for
on
you, yeah.
TV for so long. But I guess I am a YouTuber now. But we still have our same crew, and we've had to evolve the show as well. What you produce for TV, you can't really do for YouTube. It has to be the look and feel has to be very different. But I have a crew of a total staff of about 8. So we've got admin staff and all the rest of it. But then I have 2, 3 full-time guys that are just videographers and editors, and they're just absolutely flat out. So having our own internal crew, and they're very, very experienced, and they're really, really good. So we want to bring a quality to the production that's a little bit more, I guess, more than just GoPros and the typical YouTuber.
Are you seeing your audience grow to like different eyeballs demographic wise, younger people watching you opposed to the TV show?
Well, it's a very interesting thing here in Australia. I don't know what it's like in Canada, but free-to-air TV over here has taken a bit of a hit. It's not as popular as it used to be, and so everyone's switching to YouTube. But the interesting thing is, the further north you go in Australia, they're still playing all our reruns on TV, and a lot of the kids here are still watching our reruns on TV. So I actually had an email from a mother recently who said to me, "Could you please change the time of the reruns in the morning because it's just before school and we can't get our kids out the door to go to school."
That's awesome.
So it's got nothing to do with me; it's the network. But it's interesting. It's definitely a shifting market. So there's still people watching the reruns and kids, but YouTube is definitely a younger audience. But interestingly enough, in Australia, the fastest growing YouTube audience in Australia is 45 plus.
Okay.
So yeah, some of the oldies are starting to get onto it now, which is great.
That's us, eh, Tone?
That is us. Well, I'll be honest. I started watching. There's a couple guys in Australia that I follow now, and it's the guys who go out to these remote islands with just their backpack. They got a spear. I can't remember the young lad's name, but he's really entertaining. He goes out, he takes a spear, he finds coconuts on the island, and he
like
finds
survival?
turtle. Yeah, and it's almost like a mix of Alone. You know what I mean? That show Alone, when he goes out there for 2-3 days with his GoPro.
Best show.
It's a great show, and you know what? It's funny because that's what kind of got me into more intrigued with Mark's show, because like I said, I literally started watching Mark's show from when I was talking to Mike about it, because I'm again, we're in Canada. It's not like we have, I think it's the algorithm that almost has to bring us to the shows.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And now that I'm watching Mark's show, all these other guys are popping up.
Yeah.
So what's the competition like, Mark? Like, because you have obviously you have a big following, which is amazing, but there are a lot of, younger guys coming up that are not doing what you're doing, but it's very similar in a sense where it's, they're fishing and they're cooking and they're in Australia and they're in remote water. So is that something that, you find as competition, or are you happy to see something like this? Because you basically paved the way for these guys. You're one of the OGs. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I guess we are. I guess I am one of the OGs. Look, I think the more guys that are out there producing content around recreational fishing and encouraging kids and people to get out there and do it, the better. I think it's fantastic. So, yeah, there are a lot of guys here in Australia that are trying to make careers based on adventure fishing, and I think it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So,
Awesome.
mate, they can go sleep in the sand on a beach and get eaten by mosquitoes. I'm going to sleep on my 40-foot
Yeah, that's
fly
that's
bridge
so
with the
true.
aircon and
Yes.
sip beers with mates. So, but in saying that, no, I think it's fantastic, and a lot of these guys really showcasing Australia, which is fantastic, and a lot of them are really encouraging a lot of kids to get out there. So the more, the better, I say.
Right. And you know, on the food aspect of things, Siege, when I'm watching these shows, it's almost anything they catch they can eat. Now I know, like you said, the trevallies and stuff you don't eat. I've seen them catch unicorn fish where they almost look like a trigger fish, but they're, you know, they got that
cool looking.
And these guys are eating the fish, and I'm like, and the meat is white. And I know you mentioned barramundi. I got to ask you this, and Siege, we touched on this on our opening segment before the boys joined us. Barramundi here in Canada, I do have access purchasing it right now through my fishery seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that is, in terms of consuming fish, Mark, would that be like your yellowtail snapper of Australia, like your tuna, like your go-to, or is that just something that people don't know enough about?
No, it's definitely not. See, a lot of the stuff that you're getting is farmed, and so barramundi can live in freshwater or saltwater.
Okay.
And the freshwater barramundi you're getting is freshwater farmed fish, so it doesn't compare to fresh caught saltwater. And look, people love eating barramundi, but compared to some of the reef species that we have here in Australia, chalk and cheese. Like the reef
really?
species we have here will blow your mind how good they are to eat. I mean, I've eaten fish all over the world, and I've got to be honest, I think some of the fish we have here is the best eating fish you can find.
Yeah, and you know what, I believe that, because just from watching some of the videos, the meat, and you know the way even cleaning some of these fish, Siege, and I know you got, you know, some that have the big vertebrae like a mahi where you got to kind of bring your knife down and kind of go over, so you get, you know, the top loin, you go around, but you know, these guys are cooking fish whole, and they're putting them right on like coals, and you know, skin coming off, and the meat is so white and beautiful. So, Mark, what is your favorite fish? Like, if you're consuming, what's your go-to?
Well, that's a great question. But I think the staple for me here in Australia is what we call coral trout. And yes, Mike, it is a trout. Okay,
It's a grouper.
it's actually part of the grouper or groper family. But they are prolific here. They're a super bright coloured fish. They're absolutely beautiful. Very easy to fillet. They freeze well. Beautiful white flaking flesh, just gorgeous. But my absolute favourite fish to eat would be a fish called a largemouth nanagai.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nanagai.
and we get really big ones. That normally what we call bottom bash for them. So we're fishing the bottom on a thing called. Have you ever heard of a wonky hull?
No.
That's illegal.
Reference. Now, a wonky hole is basically, so we'll be out on the reef and there'll be a big sandy area and there's a freshwater like hole on the bottom and there's fresh water coming up into the salt water. And you can mark them on your sounder. They look like an upside down pyramid, and they often hold lots and lots of fish. It's like a freshwater geyser or whatever. And yeah, these nanagai are big and they look like a giant goldfish basically, and they are absolutely superb to eat. We love eating them, and you can cook them any way you like. Fry them, bake them, whatever it might be. But you mentioned cooking on coals on the fire. Like, to be perfectly honest, doesn't matter what the fish is. I think if you've had a day on the water up here and you rock up to a little sandy beach on a remote island, you build a little fire, you know, you're sitting on the sand, crystal clear water, and you cook a fish on the fire, it just tastes better because of where you are and what you're doing.
Of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's almost like a dream shore lunch, Siege.
I'm hungry now.
Here we are in Canada, pulling up to a rocky little island on Georgian Bay, starting a fire with your cast iron pan, you're cooking beans, potatoes, and a Walter fillet. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
It sounds great, but when you're pulling up to an island with crystal blue water,
Yeah.
You know, you're starting to fire. Nobody around you for miles, probably miles. And
No
the
one.
sun is shining, and you know you got a beautiful. I don't know, Siege.
Every time I watch your videos, it reminds me of like a postcard. Like it just looks so like it should be your
fake.
It should be your screensaver. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like it
we
just
do this thing where sometimes we're out on the water and there's an amazing sunset. You know, my guys are filming and we're doing this and that, and I just tell everyone, just stop. Everyone, just stop. This moment's for us. Let's be in the moment. You know, because you can sort of, it'd be very easy to take it for granted. So we just stop and chill, you know, and just say, hey, look at this guy. Look how blessed we are to be here in this moment right now. It is honestly unbelievable.
Thanks for listening to part 1 of this amazing episode featuring Mark and Mike. Tune in next week to make sure you catch part 2 of this unbelievable episode. So many things happening, guys. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great one. Part 2 next week.
We've got the stars lined